Hi, and welcome to the Handbag Designer 101 podcast with your host, Emily Blumenthal, handbag designer expert and handbag fairy godmother, where we cover everything about handbags from making, marketing, designing, and talking to handbag designers and industry experts about what it takes to make a successful handbag. Welcome, Karima Bidar of Easley, to the Handbag Designer 101 podcast. So happy to have you.
Thank you, Emily, for having me in your podcast.
So where are you located, Karima?
I'm actually in Paris. So I'm living between Paris and Casablanca.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know. Oh, right, because your bags are made in Morocco. I knew that. I didn't know that you lived, does that make you bi-coastal from French terms?
Yes, but I'm usually in Casablanca from July to beginning of September. And when I have the time, I can go in Casablanca in January. It's like 2 times in year. So I'm quite between 2 continents.
That's crazy. Do you have 2 passports?
Yes, I have my Moroccan ID actually and my French passport.
So just to explain a little bit about history, what is the connection between France and Morocco? Just for people who don't know, because there are definitely people who don't.
So my own connection or the connection that we know. At first, France, it's not that far away from Morocco. There's like Spain between us and a little bit of sea, like 13 kilometers. So my parents was born in between Marrakesh for my father and my mom in Casablanca. So they met together in France. So that's why I'm here today.
But does France and Morocco still have a historical connection, right?
Yeah. They are like, the French people used to be in Morocco like many years ago. So we have like kind of history between us. So
did France colonize Morocco?
Not colonize, but like a protectorat, we said in French. It's like they was here to protect us from something. So like 20 years or 30 years, I don't want to
say it incorrectly. Yeah. I know that the king of Morocco during World War II protected the Jews. That I do know.
Yeah.
So that is something incredible.
Yeah. He said he don't have Jew, but he has Moroccan people. So
which is amazing.
Yeah.
So do Moroccans have to go through legal stuff to live in France? Or because there's a protector, you have a connection? Like it's a...
No. The protectorate's fine now. Now it's like Kingdom of Morocco. We have a king and I can go whenever I want. But my parents was born there, so I can have the double nationality.
Right.
We can have this in France, so we can have like 2 nationality. So now I'm Moroccan and French. So that's why I'm going to Morocco.
Is your family okay after what happened?
Yeah. We are okay. My mom was there during the
earthquake.
Wow. It's not easy. It's really horrible what's going on actually, but I hope everything would be fine.
Yeah, to God's ears. So do I. Well, it's a good thing that you manufacture there. So at least, I don't like saying at least because that minimizes what you do and it minimizes the whole process. But it's a good thing there are people like you who prioritize manufacturing not only in Morocco, but in your mother country. Because I think there's a lot of designers that are not from the country they live in. And it should never be forgotten that there's always an opportunity, number one, to give back in the country from where you were born or your family comes. But number 2, there's always a way to, it's difficult being a pioneer in anything because it's super costly to be the first at, but it's an opportunity to create production in a way that at least the people with whom you work would be vested to doing a good job to work with you because you're providing jobs, you're providing trade, you're providing something theoretically that they've been doing. And now there's a way to go beyond just something, a local audience.
Right. Sometimes I have people that they ask me, why are you producing in Morocco? You can produce in Spain because there is like a special place in Spain that you can produce a brick, brick. It's in the Andalusia. And there's like many, many brands there. And they told me why, because you can do bags. And every time I'm saying that I have a relation with Morocco. This is the ADN of my brand. So it's normal for me to work with craftsmanship there, craftsmen, les artisans, like we said in French.
Yeah.
And
artisans. Yep.
Yeah. Les artisans. And they have like a specialty in handbags. They know how to use the leather, how to make a form, everything about the leather. They are super professional about this. So for me, it was normal for me to ask someone to help me to find someone, an artisan, to work with me for this project. And the difficulty of my project, I'm not like the other brand. They are producing maybe one collection with 2 models, and each model is like 100, It's not like this for me.
They could do short.
Yes, I'm doing like one collection.
So they can do short. They could do short runs of production. No, I know I'm so sorry for interrupting, but they can do short run productions.
Yeah. Small production, and that's why I'm really happy to go every time there, because it's like a relation.
Yeah.
It's not like I am the brand owner and I have only my artisans. There's like really a relation, how to work, how we can do. When I explain my brand here in France for a society or for someone, a company that they are interested for my brand, every time I say we, not my,
Exactly.
But we are all together working on something unique. And that's why I want to work with artisan, because with artisan, I can make each bag unique. So I don't have one model. I have many models, and each model is unique. And that's why I am really happy to have this opportunity to work with this kind of artisan. It's difficult, but it's really nice because there's like a big process inside.
Are the artisans that you're working with, is it in a factory or are they local crafts people?
They own a factory. It's like a small factory, and there they are like 2 or 3, and they're working with clients inside of Morocco, the native one. So it's nice because with me, they can make like 50 piece, 10 piece, 30. Like sometimes 100, but not that much. So it's nice for me to work in this way. I don't know how many times I can work this way, but I take a pleasure to do this with them.
Are you able, because obviously when you lack economies of scale, the more you produce, the less it costs. For anyone listening, it's like going to Costco, one of those places where you can buy everything in bulk. When you look at the unit price, there's usually, when you buy things, there's 2 prices. There's the unit price and the actual price. The unit price will say how much it really costs per item. Like if we go to the CVS here or one of those local Boots or something like that, it'll say the unit price. And if you're buying there, usually the unit price is really, really high because you're buying just one, right? As opposed to a Costco. And I can't even think of what the French version is of one of those giant places where you go in and there's no... Yeah. But the unit price is really low. So in terms of economies of scale for these factories, your end customer will be paying essentially for the fact that you're not producing a lot of units.
Yeah.
Right? So do you think perhaps you streamlining and coming up with an anchor piece, one limited bag that you can keep doing the same iteration over and over might make things easier for you and for them? And do you think there's an opportunity for other people to manufacture in Morocco?
Yes, of course. Like next week, I will start like a year where there is like people that can help you to see how you can have this kind of strategy, like small collection, unique bags. And then you can open your brand with like 2 collection with many units. you know. So with l'Institut Français de la Mode, I don't know if you know it, it's like a fashion institute in Paris. They are going to help me during 1 year to see how I can left my strategy of unique bags, but maybe like une branche of my brand. And the other side of my brand will be like, we can produce many bags, but maybe one model or two models that they are working very well, you know? So I can have like small collection with my artisan. And the other one, we do it with a factory, but also in Morocco. But the factory that they can make a lot of bags with one model, with two colors. That's why, for this reason. So yes, you can. So many people can come in Morocco and work with us. So it's easy. It's easy and not easy because those good artisans, it's super hard because it depends on many things of your model, of your leather, many things. So yes, definitely yes.
It's so interesting because, you know, working with so many designers, obviously the biggest thing once you have your brand in order, which is a whole other conversation, but the production aspect is where most designers choke. You know, they don't know what to do, where to go. And then they're left with this wide open space of like, now what? Right? They get their samples done locally, domestically, which is always really expensive because obviously, you know, making samples, unfortunately, in New York is super expensive. Doing production in LA is cheaper. Then LA gets too expensive and then you're forced to go overseas.
Yeah.
So I know one of the designers through the awards is now working with the factory with her local country of Romania. So there's production there. So, and now one of the designers we spoke to who's from Turkey, he's got production there. And now to hear that there's another opportunity to potentially produce in Morocco, it's really exciting because it's not a shortage of places to produce your bags. There's a shortage of knowledge, knowing that you can, right? So I think that's a huge opportunity for you. And obviously at the end of this, we'll have you give your information so people could get in touch with you. But I think it's a great opportunity to streamline, you know, to come up with a way or a template to say, if you want to produce, these are the things that you need. This is what you need to have in order, because that's also a learning curve of figuring out what you need to be ready, right, to go into production. And one of the designers who I just spoke to, you know, she did a first round sample with the factory and she was saying it didn't come out how she wanted. And I said, well, you know, so there's this idea that with the sample request, you actually need to have pictures of what you want from other brands. And I know a lot of designers feel that that's copying, but it's not so much copying as you want to make sure that the factory who's doing your work knows what to do. And unless you have visuals, like literally taking a screenshot from somebody else's brand, from, I'm not saying copying, but like, I want the top stitch from there. I want the handle like this, but in this color, but I want it wider. So without those visuals, you'll never get the bag you want. You'll never get anything you want. So you need to give that direction.
Yeah, but the thing that it's very cool, there is like factories. I visit some factories, but they have like a showroom with many bags that they produce inside of the factory. So, I mean, if someone wants to start a brand handbag, they can see, they can touch, they can see if that's good. I mean, for the finishing, all the things. So, yeah.
Is this in Casablanca or Marrakesh?
Casablanca. I have some contact in Casablanca and some in Marrakesh. Yeah.
But yours are in Casablanca?
Yeah, mine, it's in Casablanca. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, honestly, you know, of course, I want to know your journey and your story, but this is so interesting to know that this is something. And, you know, just to dive right in and go back. So you were born in Morocco?
No, I was
born in France.
Yeah, in northeast. Yeah.
If you ever wanted to start a handbag line and didn't know where to start, this is for you.
Living proof that independent designers can make it big.
Easley Blumenthal, who is one prime example.
If you had dreams of becoming a handbag designer and didn't know where to start, this is for you. If you have a handbag brand and are in need of strategy and direction, this is for you. I'm Emily Blumenthal, handbag fairy godmother and handbag designer expert, and this is Handbag Designer 101, the masterclass. Over the next 10 classes, I will break down everything you need to know how to make, market, and manufacture a handbag. Broken down for you that you'll not only skip steps in that handbag building process, but also save money in that learning curve. For the past 20 years, I've been teaching at the top fashion universities in New York City, created the Handbag Awards, and also the Handbag Designer 101 podcast. I'm going to show you like I have countless brands from sketch to sample to shelf, whether you're just starting out and don't know where to begin, or even if you have a handbag line and just need some strategic direction, the Handbag Designer 101 Masterclass is just for you. So let's get started, and you will be the creator of the next IT bag. Join me, Emily Blumenthal, with the Handbag Designer 101 Masterclass. So when you go to Morocco, do you only speak French?
The Moroccan people speak French too. So we will speaking French. With my artisans, I speak French and Arabic. So it's nice sometimes, when I am work, I share some picture on WhatsApp. I'll leave him some audio. So yeah, I speak Arabic. Yes, you can please. Yes, Hassan, yalla, it's done. Yes, don't worry, Madam Karima. So it's nice.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It's kind of, if you work with artisans in Morocco, it's nice because it's not like in Europe, it's frozen relation, client to client. Exactly. But here it's like more than like it's from my family,
Yeah.
Like, we have like this shock in a few days ago. I call him like right now, are you okay? Your family, it's like family. It's nice to work like this, but because when it's family, the artisan give his soul to your brand, like you are doing also. So,
right.
Yeah.
It's one of those things too that I think, especially in this day and age of social media, where, brands with fans and showing the backstory, showing the how it's made, showing, by the way, this is who made your bag, this is their story, this is the whole thing. I mean, all that is great, but if your bag isn't beautiful, nice, checks the box for being the right price, all that doesn't mean that much.
No.
But, you want to get into a little bit about how you got your start. And, your bags have gone through quite an evolution. They're still beautiful and still have those amazing pops of color, which I personally love. But your prices have gone from really, really expensive to much more on point to, this is something I can afford now, because that's one of the cycles that most designers go through, where they realize because they're not producing a lot, their samples cost a lot, the production costs a lot. Therefore, when they charge so they make some money, they cost a lot.
Yeah, like I said to the people, like you see my bags, they are not like expensive that much. With all the story behind this brand, I say to someone, I want to create a brand, a handbag brand with a democratic price. Why? Because I'm like, here in Paris, all the people wearing the same bag, from Matt, from Poland, from Sandro. It's not that they are producing in China. We know where they are producing. And like I said to my friend that are working with me, I said, we should create a bag, cool bag. Then they are going to give you a pep to your clothes during the day on the streets with a democratic price,
Yeah.
Why democratic price? Yes, today it's not that much, but I want to beginning this brand with democratic price to say, oh yeah, nice, it's cool, this brand. And then I will have some success with people on the street. And then I will open the other side of my brand where I will produce more and lots.
So were you a designer, or you just stumbled on, like, you were in Morocco, over the summer and like, hey, I found an artisan, and hey, I didn't know they could make a bag? Was it like that kind of story?
No, actually, I'm a graphic designer. I'm teacher in graphic design. I am designer too, so I design my own bags. I come in Morocco with my prototype, with paper, with volume, some volume. And I say to Tariq, so Tariq, what do you think about this bag? How we can produce it? How we can make it? And also I buy my leather here in France, in Paris. Because we have I have some tests in Casablanca and Marrakesh, but the color wasn't that much. I don't know how to.
Right.
Yes.
Bright.
Yeah, bright.
Popping.
Yeah, popping. We don't have like a pink popping. We don't have all these things.
Right.
I'm working with La Réserve des Arts. It's a place where you can find like a discounted premium material.
Right.
So then it's like you have a big leather. On the middle of this leather, we have like a wall,
Right.
Just use this wall and the other side is not using. So I'm buying all of this leather and I'm working with this leather. And that's why it's for this reason it's unique, because sometimes you have one bag at the top of the bag, it's with pink, but I can do it more pink because I have only one piece of pink, It's
right.
quite of crazy to make every bag. But I'm working with this leather because yes, I need the color. And
Right.
in Morocco, we have only gray, black, really.
So there's a shortage or deficit of the ability to produce leather in colors because nobody else needs them in colors. So therefore, they're not manufacturing it that way.
Yeah, because actually in Fes, it's a city in Morocco, they are doing color by hand and fit. So it's natural color. That's it.
Right.
You don't have afraid of this pink,
Right.
So I can buy this color here in France from Italy. They are from Spain. They are coming from Spain.
Right.
And we use only discarded premium material.
Wow. That's interesting. So do you think there is an opportunity for you in terms of having an impact with leather production in Morocco to have them start doing short runs of skins with bright colors?
Yeah.
Because I think based on what you're saying and trying to help the country become more of a manufacturing hub, or at least that it is a place that you can manufacture, that it would benefit them if they're already producing the leather to start learning how to dye. And I'm not a leather person, but how to dye the skins in a way that's obviously non-toxic. And as long as you're doing it, because I think people will say, oh, you shouldn't do it at all. Like, no, that is their money. That's their livelihood. That is what the families have done for generations. So to teach them or say like, hey, we have an opportunity to get people to actually produce here if we can do small runs of dyeing the skins. Is that something that you're working on with them? Because I think it's going to obviously jack up your prices if you have to buy it, because you're buying it. You said you're only getting the discarded skins of those colors.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. You should add that to your story, because that is definitely, from a 360 eco-friendly angle, that's pretty impressive. So are you getting it at a discount because they're the discarded leathers of those colors?
They're actually discount because we have like small pieces. We can have like a centimeter.
Because it's only for the flap and for the circle part.
Yeah.
That's clever.
Yeah, all this leather, they have like a little thing, they're wool, they're plastic. And I'm taking all of this leather and I'm doing some bag with it.
Do you have a bag?
Yes, I have a bag. Do you want to see?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
1 minute.
Okay.
So
that's
like,
okay.
So like you see, the color, it's super pop.
Yeah. I love them.
Yeah. With something we have le grainé. In French, we said they're like, you can see the skin very well.
Right.
And sometimes we have like those one.
Oh, I love them. They're so beautiful. Yeah, that you can see the imperfections.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, it's so you see, I have 3 different bags, so that's why I'm really playing with my artisans actually.
I think that's amazing. And I think, and I encourage all designers and brands to say that if anything you're using is recycled or discarded or adding to that, that you make sure that you add that to your story, because your customers should know that if they're buying something, there's a reason for an imperfection. So there's absolutely no waste, and that it's, giving back. And, like, you see people wearing fur coats and they come after you, and it's like, no, this was somebody else's. I am buying a vintage recycled, like, it's already there. So as long as it's not going to be wasted, let me use it. So at least it goes somewhere, as opposed to ruining the environment, and people can actually enjoy this beautiful bag. And I'm giving a job to someone, helping feed a family, community, etc. And I think that's really important. So where are you at, and how are you able to let people know that you are developing these bags and where they're sold and so forth? How are you doing that?
So I'm actually working a lot on Instagram. So it's helped me a lot to open my customer. I mean, I start from France, so here at Instagram I can buy. There is like Korean people from South Korea. They are buying my bags from London, from everywhere. So Instagram helped me a lot actually, and also I can see sometimes on my website who is coming from where. It's nice to see that I have my customer growing from everywhere. And most of my clients also is from France, but only for the jewelry, because I'm making also earrings, and that's it. So on my website and Instagram.
So what do you think is next for you in terms of next steps and what you want to do with your brand and your bags and so forth?
So my next step is to open with Easley a home. Like, I can make like furniture, mirror in Morocco, made with my ADN that we have with Easley. This is and make carpet, many things about home.
So trying to turn this into a lifestyle brand. I really think, though, that what you're saying about working with the artisans is a huge opportunity. That are people able to follow up with you if they're interested in manufacturing in Morocco? And would you be able to help them, or at least put them in touch with the right people?
Yeah, of course, I will help with, je serai très heureuse d'aider. Yes. Yes.
Question. I know working in any other country, there's always a language barrier. Do the people that you work with, do they understand written English if it's written like via WhatsApp, or that's not a problem?
I think in British and English, it will be a little bit hard, but you have Google Translate, so you can translate to French, and then you can exchange with them like this. So,
okay. Karima, this has been amazing. I'm so happy we were able to chat and learn a little bit more about Easley. How can people follow you and learn more and get in touch with you if they need to?
So the people can follow me on Instagram with Easley.studio, or in my website, easleystudio.com.
So it's ISLI Studio.
Yeah.
Okay. And what does Easley stand for? What is the origin of
the meaning of Easley? It's groom.
Groom? Groom or groom?
GROOM.
Groom, like of a wedding? Like a bride?
Yeah. Yeah. In Berber.
Oh, why? Why that for a handbag?
Why? Because this is when I start my brand, I get married. So with my husband, and his origin is from Berber, from south of Morocco. So that's why we call Easley. It's like, Easley, it's like the story of Romeo and Juliet, but in Morocco.
Seriously?
Yeah. I'm not joking.
Look at that. No, I know you're not joking. Wow, that's so interesting. I definitely look at this on a history lesson. And for those of people who don't know, where's Morocco located?
In north of Africa.
Listen, I just want to make sure that this is a full 360 episode. So you're in France, you produce in Morocco. Morocco is in the north of Africa. They speak French and Arabic and a whole mess of other languages there. And when I was in Morocco, I'd never, ever seen more people command more languages so well. The people I knew were like hustling and there to work and the kindest, warmest people I'd ever met. So you are absolutely one of them. So thank you, Karima. We will absolutely be following you and seeing what you're doing. And if anybody's interested in learning more about producing in Morocco, follow up with Karima. She's an absolute gem. So thank you so much. And we'll be following.
Yeah, thank you, Emily, very much for your invitation.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to rate and review and follow us on every single platform at Handbag Designer. Thanks so much. See you next time.